And so we return to yet another episode of what has so far been a well-animated and consistently intriguing anime about Shah Aznable and how he became the ultra-badass mecha pilot and main antagonist of Mobile Suit Gundam that we know, whereas episode 3 focused more on Shah and how he was heavily powered by vengeance and therefore he aced his initial training as a soldier. Episode 4 focuses more on the way early mobile suit technology influenced the political landscape of the Gundam universe before the 1 Year War. We get a more ensemble cast this time around as opposed to us just focusing on Shah or Casval, or whatever you want to call him at this stage. To me, he has become Shah, and this wider cast gives us a more wider perspective on the key events leading to the 1 Year War. So in episode 4 of Gundam The Origin, Shah has been identified as being one of the main ringleaders, along with his friend Garma, whom led their fellow cadets into a battle. Shah then goes on leave and becomes a construction worker on Earth, piloting a construction mech. Well, considering how Shah always seems to end up in a mech suit in one way or another in each of these episodes, it's like he was always destined to become a mecha pilot. Whilst on Earth, Shah meets this psychic Indian girl and he escorts her away from all these people who are trying to capture her. I have no idea why all this happens, but the situation does introduce us to the idea that some humans can have psychic powers. We then focus more on Dr. Ray, who was the star pupil of Dr. Minovsky, who initially developed the mobile suits. Dr. Ray discovers that Minovsky's creations have now become heavy-duty weapons, and that Minovsky is planning to defect to the Zeon forces for some reason. Oh snap! Anyway, whilst Minovsky is attempting to defect and get to a Zeonic factory, the Earth Federation in their mobile suits tried to stop Minovsky by capturing him, I assume, and Zeon mobile suits tried to protect Minovsky. This results in what is apparently the first ever mobile suit battle, and it's great. All the action is beautiful and I can actually tell what's happening on the screen. It's actually quite rare that I get to see mecha battles this clearly presented. And so Minovsky is accidentally killed and Dr. Ray carries on Minovsky's work developing the mobile suits. Then this blonde woman who just screams femme fatale in so many ways kills this mayor of a place to create political unrest, I assume. And then there's even more political unrest in other places, and the relationship between Zeonics and the Earth Federation worsens, and then the 1 Year War starts, in which Shah participates in as a mobile suit fighter. The episode ends with Dr. Ray's son, Amuro Ray, becoming so interested in mechanics that he ends up losing a lot of sleep, and so the seed is planted for Amuro Ray to eventually become a mecha pilot along down the line. So yeah, this episode of Gundam The Origin still has that Gundam level of complexity, but surprisingly for me, I was able to follow about 90% of it. Usually, I can only understand about 60 to 70% of what is happening in a Gundam anime, but I pretty much could tell where everything was in this episode, and I was more able to concentrate on all of the politics and characters of the story. I could see how the development of mobile suits went from them being mere construction robots to full-on war machines. The only times I really got lost was when the blonde femme fatale character appeared, as I didn't really see the purpose of her character in the story, and it wasn't really explained how Shah ended up with the red mobile suit. I know it was set up that he would become a mobile suit pilot at the start of the episode, and that the red mobile suit existed, but how Shah ended up with that specific suit is unbeknownst to me. I also noticed that even though the animation was great, once again, a lot of the supporting characters were animated comedically, which stuck out like a sore thumb to me, as those characters weren't actually funny characters. The animation may have flowed slightly better overall if all of the characters were animated with more serious movements to maintain a dark Gundam style tone, but overall, this was yet another well animated and well scripted episode in what has so far been a pretty good Gundam anime. Now let's see if there will be a 5th episode or not, and if there is a 5th episode, I would like to see what became of the characters that seem to have been forgotten at this point, namely Garma and Shah's sister, Artesia.